Kenyan scientist Andrew Muneza is one of the world's experts on giraffes. He breeds, thinks, and dreams giraffes. Muneza is the East Africa coordinator of the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, a multinational science-based organization fighting to protect giraffes.
We feel that giraffes are one of the, iconic but forgotten megafauna of Africa. Giraffe is one of those megafauna that is truly African because you don't find giraffe species anywhere else on the continent. In the world, they're only found in Africa.
Muneza acknowledges that development is positive for the people, but is contributing to habitat loss for the world's longest striding animal.
There's a lot of demand and pressure on land and what we want to do for land. If people have followed what's going on with the SGR, we are seeing expansion of roads, we are seeing urban areas coming up, but then we also have to think about wild spaces for wildlife.
At the Meru National Park, the senior veterinary officer, Dr. Anthony Bundotich, is trying to pick up the pieces and bridge the gap between poachers and conservationists. He's spearheading a government initiative in Kenya called the National Recovery Plan, aimed specifically at saving the giraffe.
We only have about 8,000 to 12,000 reticulated giraffes in the world. Actually, and most of them are in Kenya. Some few in lower parts of Ethiopia and some parts of Somalia. So this species, the population is declining. We need to tell them that these are important species to be conserved. Secondly, is we need to try and form conservancies. Since these giraffes are mostly outside in the community areas, the only way is to encourage communities to form community conservancies. KWS is in the process of trying to enlighten the community or assist the community along Ewaso River to form conservancies where there are a lot of giraffes there. In the north, we're trying to map areas where we can form conservancies so that we can conserve the giraffes in situ rather than translocating them into protected areas or parks.
Giraffes have to devote 16 to 20 hours of their day to eating from the highest treetops. Scientists now agree that their dwindling roaming ranges is now their most serious threat.
Giraffes in particular have been affected by habitat loss. They are not accessing the same type of land that they used to. They are not accessing the quality forage that they used to. They are not able to forage in the same manner. The range is becoming more and more constricted.
It's a big issue whereby people are now settling in areas, in dispersal areas, where these giraffes used to stay, especially in the community areas, as I said. So people are settling in, they are encroaching, they are changing the land use systems from pastoralism, they are doing farming now, and now the giraffes are losing the areas, the dispersal areas, the habitats,
In the early 1960s, the reticulated giraffe was still a common sight, stretching from Kenya's far northeast all the way to Somalia. But that is no longer the case. Successive droughts have killed more than 70% of the population, and locals here have added to the demise by consuming tons of giraffe.
The last 2 years, 2017, was a very bad year for us because of the drought. And this led to conflicts between the community and the giraffes because of scarcity of resources, water, even pods, like acacia pods. The pastoralists use it to feed the goats. And they compete with the giraffes. Poaching, that is in terms of bushmeat. There's a lot of killing they use the bone marrow to produce some soup in the northern areas. The tails are used for fly whisks. We also suspect maybe the skins, there must be some thread on the skin.
During the dry season in Garissa, water is scarce, and the giraffes need to eat and drink. Retired Sergeant Noor and Hassan are trying to assist them. They've dug watering points for the giraffes to try and help avoid conflicts between pastoralists and their thirsty, long-necked neighbors.
Ndio shimo kubwa ndio nimechimba watu nimemwambia aenda atafuta mchanga nyeuzi. Ndio mimi nimechimba alikuwa kubwa hata akijaa wewe hawezi onekana maji hata saa hii anajaa. Lakini wana nje hapa hana mahali ya kunywa maji. Washamba kila mahali amefunga. Alafu twiga usiku ndio anakunywa, mchana huonekani. Huko watu ndio wanafukuza.
The duo have led their team of 19 Garissa Scouts in a campaign to convince the local community to stop the cutting down of acacia trees for fuel. With a daily need of 30 kilos of acacia leaves every single day, giraffes need these trees. The Scouts' effort may be noble, but it's not a big hit with the locals. The Kenya Wildlife Service have joined forces with the Giraffe Conservation Foundation to preach the value of preserving this walking Kenyan treasure.
Whether it's on national protected areas, or whether it's on county protected areas, or whether it's on private or community lands. And then that means that we are conserving all the wildlife.
But working with KWS actually and developing the draft national strategy, we've actually come to see that the numbers are going up in some areas. So now I'm more than happy to report that we have an estimated 15,000 reticulated giraffe, so instead of 8,000.
The world's tallest land animal is now facing another threat: the black market.
The baby.
Yeah, we have a baby. We had a big one.
Oh, this one came from South Africa.
An expose by the Humane Society International has now exposed a booming market for giraffe trophies.
You do a lot of work with giraffe? Oh yeah, absolutely.
With retailers in the United States hawking custom-made giraffe jackets, hide pillows, duffel bags made of giraffe skin, and even leather Bible covers. Over 40,000 giraffe parts, translating to more than 4,000 giraffes, killed over the last decade alone and contributing to a 40% decline in population of the towering beauties. The Humane Society International has since petitioned the United States government to include the giraffe in the list of protected species, hoping to introduce a ban on their parts and products. To add insult to injury, the traders operate with freedom and even take pride in selling the embalmed parts of Africa's giraffes.
They are real giraffes?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it just this part, or is it?
No, yeah, it's just right here and then back here.
There is no consideration that this was once a living creature whose life was cut short for the sake of a trinket.
Wow, what is this?
That's giraffe bone.
Oh, that's a giraffe shoulder bone?
Back in Kenya, it's difficult to spot the well-camouflaged giraffe through the forest. It will be even harder if they lose their habitat. With every tree felled in the giraffe's home range, a bit of their future disappears. Thankfully, Kenyan scientists, communities, and conservationists have managed to change this dangerous trajectory. For the first time in decades, giraffe numbers are actually climbing. This proves that we have the power to help nature recover in the most extraordinary way. I'm Rabia Hawa, and here's hope for giraffes. May we all get a chance to see them standing tall.